What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Make sure you follow me over there on Telegram. That's t.me/kingoffomo1, as well as my chat, or as well as my TikTok channel, which is listed right there on the screen. All right, so I took a couple days off just because I needed it. I can't really stare at crypto 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with a full-time job as well. However, I'm back, and I've really just been working on the sidelines, not really working too much on the video aspect of things, but I still have been following farms pretty closely over the past couple of days. So these Binance Smart Chain farms are still extremely profitable, and like it's definitely to a point where like I definitely don't need to make a video about any of them. If you guys are following my Telegram chat, these people are pointing out new farms left and right as soon as they get posted, and that's really the key. I mean, to getting lots of profits in anything is to get in early and go in heavy. So like I'm like 5 or 6 of these farms has launched since I've made my last video. And they all kind of go through the same process where they go up and then they go down. But throughout that entire process, you have a long time to be able to make a large profit from a lot of different strategies from these farms. So we'll talk a little bit about that. The farm, it's almost like there's a farm of the day. There's a new one that really pops up every single day. Yesterday was Slime.Finance. This one went up to close to like $500. Now it's kind of pulling down to $50. And I don't really expect any of these farms to come back, to be honest. We had Taste.Finance the other day as well. We had Viking the day before that. Today's farm of the day is Taco Swap. We also have Nuts, or Squirrel.Finance's farm. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this one because a lot of you guys were asking me about this one. This is the one that the developer that I know from before, that created a lot of really successful games on the Ethereum blockchain, has released his farm over here on the Binance Smart Chain. Now this one is interesting, and a lot of them are starting to get really interesting because they're adding stuff to it. But what Squirrel.Finance does is they're adding insurance. So essentially what that means is, as you're farming these other tokens that definitely have risk, like I said, the highest risk with all of these farms is farming with the token pair itself. So like for Goose DeFi, it's the egg token. For Viking, it's the Viking token. And for Cake, it's the Cake token. These tokens are subject to kind of go down a lot just because the supply increases over time. And if the demand does not match the supply, then the price will go down because the supply will continue to increase and the price will just decrease. What Nuts does, if the price does go down, or if, God forbid, a rug happens and everything is stolen, Nuts is going to provide you insurance so that if you're purchasing that token and you're putting it over here on the Squirrel.Finance platform instead, you'll be able to leave with the liquidity kind of halfway tied to Nuts. So instead of losing your $100,000 that you put in some new platform, you can come out with $25,000 or $50,000 instead of losing everything. So I think that this is a really cool addition, and a lot of people are hyped about it. I think that as they're adding more stuff and more coins, I think that this will continue to grow and people will see kind of the benefit of having insurance on these platforms. But even in addition to that, I look at something like Slime.Finance, and if you just look at the homepage right here, you notice that they're starting to add more features that make it just more user-friendly. You have your dollar amount right here. You have your slime on your treasury address. You have your total slime burn, your slime on the dev address. So a lot of just additional quality of work features have been added to a lot of these farms. And your older farms like Donut, they're just no competition anymore because these newer farms are just doing new stuff to really get people to come to it. Like even with Slime.Finance, you have referrals. Referrals, they didn't really work that well at the start, but I guess they did work out in the end. So I think that these farms aren't done. So the clones that are popping up, they are beneficial. They're not just copy paste clones through and through. A lot of these developers are, some of them I'm certain that some of these developers are the same developers from the coin from the day before. But nonetheless, a lot of these developers are coming up with new stuff to add to their farms to get people to kind of come around and stick around with them. So innovation is good. Competition is a good thing, in my opinion. So the thing that you guys should always pay attention to, there's so many factors to pay attention to, but the most important thing is like be good at math. If you failed your math class and you don't understand how market caps work, then yeah, you're going to look at these things and say, man, this isn't profitable. I can't make any money. And you're going to miss out and lose out on making some of the easiest profits in crypto ever. But if you understand how math works, then like myself, it's almost impossible to lose unless one of these things rugs. So some factors that you have to pay attention to are the total value locked. So this is a factor that's not as important anymore. You could have a total value locked of upwards of $20 to $40 million. I think Taste has $40 million total value locked. Yet this coin was worth maybe $20 or $30 the other day. So total value locked is not directly correlated with the price of the coin. However, it is important to see that people are interested in it and people aren't just going to dump it, and you have a community that wants to build up the platform itself. So that's an important factor, but not the most important factor. Market cap is also an important factor. This will tell you basically how much funds are in the specific coin pair itself. So this one, Taste, has a $5 million market cap, which kind of is pretty good. It blows a lot of the other farms out of the water. Taco's new today, only basically a $1 million market cap. Slime, a couple days old, has a $1 million market cap as well. Now, however, even though Taste has the highest market cap, their price has been decreasing. So again, that's still not the most important value, because again, as you're printing tokens, the price, like you're really just shooting yourself in the foot hardcore if you're buying the token and doing nothing with it. You need to be farming it somewhere, either in the farm pool, in the pairs, or the singular pool, because everyone else is generating free coins, and like your supply is increasing, so your coins naturally just have less value if you're just holding and waiting for it to go up to astronomical levels. So that's kind of what I mean by like know your math. So that's one of the reasons why the price has gone down, yet the market cap has gone up. People who have been staking in Taste are very happy. Like they've been in it for a while. They've been making extra Taste funds over time, and this is one that I don't think they decreased their pools, their APRs that much. So again, it's working out for people that have been staking the pairs of the Taste coin. But even still, like the thing is, like especially if you're following my Telegram channel, if you follow the key to winning these things super early and super easily, follow my Telegram channel, look for a new farm that pops up, make sure it doesn't look like total crap and garbage, and then check to see if the code matches one of these other codes. It should match 1-to-1. There should be no additional things added, maybe with the exception of changing a name. Because a lot of these codes have been audited and are copied from Goose.Finance or Goose DeFi, and that's been audited. There's no issues with it at first glance with people looking at it and things like that. But there's no issues with it, so there's no chance of like major scams or exploits. Low chance of major scams of exploits. So find the code that's exactly the same. Make sure that these contracts have a time lock and the migrator function is removed. And if all those things fit the bill and you see it on my Telegram channel very, very early, then buy into it. Like buy in and like don't be afraid to go heavy. That's what I've been doing for the past week or so. I've been going heavy into some of these new farms. And I'm not doing the pool. I'm kind of diversifying. I'm putting a very, very small amount in the actual pool itself, depending on what the market cap is at first. I might put a bigger amount if the market cap's really, really low. But then on top of that, I'm putting a huge chunk into these pools where there's only a 4% fee, because you have to understand when you have a 4% fee. Let me see if the APRs here are still really, really high. These are pretty high. So when you have a 5% fee and it's paying 11,000% yearly, then that means you should be able to recoup that 5% in a third of a day. And everything else is free money from then on out. So from then on out, all you really have to do is decide when you want to sell. Do you want to hold it? Do you want to stick it in the pools and compound it even more? Do you want to wait for a high price and then sell it? So it's like I said, it's free money after you hit that 5%. So that's kind of the key strategy of what I've been doing. If I find them and they're a few days old, I probably won't jump into it. Like, let me just go to Donut Finance. Like a lot of people are still saying, come back to this old farm. And I'm like, why? If there's a new farm with higher APY, why in the world would I go to an old farm? But some of these farms, like they have APYs of 200%. Like I'm not going to recoup my 4% for a week, if that, and probably not even that, because the APR is going to keep going down all week as people continue to dump. So And that's kind of the thing. Like, the competition forces these farms and these developers to put something a little bit new in their contract. And you know, I think that as the innovation continues, we might actually come into something that could beat Goose DeFi, because Goose DeFi, like, they all have the same issue. They all go down, with the exception of Pancake, which kind of is your staple. Even Goose DeFi is kind of bleeding right now pretty hard. And that's the thing. Your coins, they're going to keep printing supply over and over again. These farms with these super high APYs, even 200 and 300%, are still like crazy. So people will deposit millions and millions of dollars into these farms. So you can see $10 million into this farm, get that 300% APY, and they're just going to dump the token because, again, like I said, once they get that 4%, it is free money. And some of these guys that are part of this $10 million have had their funds in for a week, and they've already recouped the 4%. So they're getting a super high APR. You're getting a ton of free tokens, and like a lot of them will just dump it. So a lot of psychology of things, a lot of math going on here. But overall, like I said, as long as the code doesn't change, the more of these that pop up, I'm not going to really make too many more videos about them because I really don't have to. But the more of these that pop up, I'm just going to keep jumping in them and milking them for what they're worth for the week. Anyway, guys, that's everything for today. Check out Squirrel.Finance. This one is a little bit different, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they can kind of keep building their platform with this insurance and kind of reducing the risk of exit scams from them, because the exit scam risk is still there. But that's everything for today, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. There's other stuff I want to talk about. Wise Token is moving to BSC, so hopefully I'll talk about that soon too. Peace out.